It's that time of year again when FPS gamers ask themselves, should I buy COD or not? I too suffer from that very same affliction and I chose to buy it, so stick around and I'll give you my thoughts so far, and perhaps that'll help you make that ever important decision. Hello there guys and welcome, my name is ShavedApe and I want to thank you for joining me. So it's now the 6th of November and of course Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has now been out for a few days. I've had a little time to play it, so I thought I would share my thoughts on it. Now keep in mind these are just my thoughts and therefore it's a subjective view on a game many of us love to hate, while still wondering what if. So first up, let me just say this is the PC version and what you see on screen is what the game set as my auto settings. I changed the FOV at some point, but nothing more, and according to the advanced video settings, a lot of it's set on extra, whatever that means. Also, as you can probably see, this is multiplayer footage, although I will talk about the single player too. And with that, let's talk about the single player. Personally, I have around 11 hours showing on my Steam account for the single player, but in reality, that's probably more like 5 or 6. I haven't quite finished it yet, but I am, or at least I think I am, on the last level, and I gotta say, that in itself, for me at least, says I must quite like it. I rarely play single player games and even more rarely do I want to finish them. Now it's not without its issues, a locked FOV that can cause some people to have motion sickness, cutscenes that you're forced to watch, frustratingly if you change the graphic settings and you're forced to watch the last one again, and a story that I personally don't care about. In fact, half the time a cutscene is playing I get up from my chair, make a brew, nip to the shop, fall asleep and wake up with a sore neck and a rage. Yeah, you get the point. As I say though, this kept me playing, so it's doing something right, and well, it's got Kevin Spacey in it. As for the multi, well that's what I buy games for, especially shooters. It's where I and most of us will spend most of our time. I tried the co-op, that's not too bad. First I thought, well, this is just crap, these guys are easy. But of course, it does get gradually more difficult, and actually probably isn't a bad way to prepare yourself somewhat for the multiplayer. But nothing really ever prepares you for the multi, no matter how hard the AI might get. The multiplayer has changed a little, but in all honesty, this is still Call of Duty, and so it should be. Time to kill is quick, too quick if I'm totally honest, doesn't feel broken, aka Battlefield 4. In this game it feels like it's supposed to be that way. 1 or 2 frames to die is the norm, and there are virtually no hit notifications to speak of. Sure, they are there, but you die so quickly, most of the time it's virtually impossible to react to them, or indeed even see them quickly enough. I can't help feeling it's sometimes more about luck than it is skill, and with the lack of footsteps, you're not likely to last very long most of the time. Now the movement of course has been revamped. It's just fucking Titanfall without titans and bots. I hear you, and before playing I would have agreed, but it doesn't feel like Titanfall. It might look like it, but trust me on this, it's not Titanfall. The exosuits give you a higher jump and even the ability to boost in specific directions. You can change directions in the air, and well, as I say, you can boost yourself in a specific direction, left, right and backwards while on foot or in the air, and for forwards, well you have to be in the air. And I guess this is where the skill level has been increased a little. It's in no way a shooter like CS, doesn't give you that yes I got a headshot feeling, or even Battlefield in terms of shooting skill. Hold down the mouse button and you'll probably get the kill, but the movement adds an element of the unknown I guess, and as players get more proficient at using the movement system, it won't be as easy to hit them as it perhaps is now. As for the exosuit abilities, well honestly, so far the ones I've tried aren't that great, and from what I can tell most of the time people just don't bother to use them, perhaps because they don't add that much to the game, but I can't help feeling that was done more in the interest of balance and even perhaps to avoid changing the game too much. We gamers are a fickle bunch. We want change, but change it too much and we'll hate you for it. So Sledgehammer, for me at least, have done a pretty good job of moving the franchise on without changing its identity too much. I actually quite like the game, and it's been a while since I've been able to say that about a Call of Duty game. There are no standalone servers, which of course means we're stuck with matchmaking. Oh, how I love matchmaking. It never works well, and this game is no exception. Sure, it finds you a game quickly, but you still end up playing against people with piss poor ping or who are ranked 300 levels higher than you. You know, the idea of matchmaking is actually a good one, but I think it's clear by now that it doesn't work. So please, developers, can we please have our standalone servers back? Aside from the matchmaking, I don't like that mouse acceleration is still there, and the only way to fix it is to reduce my mouse polling rate. I don't like having my FPS capped at 90 while using a 120Hz monitor. I do like that I can change my FOV, and the fact that despite this being a console port, the PC doesn't feel quite so much like an afterthought. Some things could and should have been done to make it more a viable PC game, but compared to past games, this isn't half bad. If you're looking for an FPS made for PC, this isn't for you. But if you're looking for a bit of mindless fun, then this might be right up your street. I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it. And it's for that reason I will give it a 7 out of 10 bananas. Now personally, I paid £28 for this one. That's about $45, and considering I've now played at least 12 hours and I plan to play more, I would call that reasonable value. If I went for a night out, it would probably cost me a lot more, and the only thing that would last 12 hours is the hangover, and they ain't fun. And with that, I shall love you and leave you. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me take your valuable time. I hope you found this video informative and enjoyable, and if you did, feel free to leave me a rating or a comment. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't done already, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe.